Welcome back to the Master Bathroom Edition series. If you missed the first couple episodes, I'll put links up above. I've also created a playlist on the channel where all the videos will be if you want to watch those in order. If you have been following along, you know we've done the demo, framing, plumbing, and electrical. We've been waiting on the window for the shower, which is why we haven't been able to make any progress over there. But the window has arrived, which means we're finally going to get this framing done and get our shower ready for tile. All right, we got everything ready for tile backer board. I didn't film, obviously, every single piece because we had a huge hole in the side of our house, and it's the middle of February. So I wanted to get that closed off as soon as I could. But we got all of the framing done, including this shelf for all of our soap bottles, window installed, sheathing patched, insulated, vapor barrier. Everything is ready to go. I'm going to go with Go Board for my tile backer. I've used this in all 3 showers in my house, and I personally wouldn't use anything else just because of the simplicity. It is a little bit more expensive, about $10 more per sheet than like a cement board. But I know a cement board, you got to use thin set. You got to cut it outside usually with like an angle grinder. It's super dusty. Whereas this, you just score and snap like you would drywall. Apply some sealant on all the seams, a little bit of red guard, and you're good to go. So this is definitely the best bet. Again, for an extra 50 bucks, I'll do it every single time. So let's get all this installed and get the shower ready for tile. All right, as I alluded to a little bit earlier, when you come to a seam like this, all you do is, Go Board has a list of approved sealants, so make sure you get one of their approved ones, and all you do is just put a fat bead along the entire seam, and I like to go overboard. If I waste, a $7 tube of caulk, it's not the end of the world. I like the peace of mind, right? If I have a leak after I tile and everything, and it's gonna cost me a lot more than $7. All right, once you got that fat bead all the way along, what you do is you set this on top and you want to see it squeeze out along the whole length of the joint. So as you see, right, we're flush on top, we got a good amount of squeeze out. What I typically do is I have like a disposable putty knife. And what you do is just pull it smooth. Again, use a putty knife, not an old Sawzall blade. I know I've said time and time again to try and think a couple steps ahead to help yourself out in the future, and this is a really good example. So I'm hanging my tile backer board, and I have plenty of wood, 16 on center studs, to attach that to. So I would be perfectly fine. However, I know in the future, 10 steps from now, I'm going to be installing a shower door, a glass door, along the length of the shower. That needs to secure into studs to hold it up. So it's gonna land probably somewhere in like right here, which is not where I have a stud. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a new stud and I'm gonna install it on edge, top to bottom. So I'm gonna nail it to my top plate, my bottom plate, and then also to this stud. And that'll give me 5 inches of wood to attach my door to. If I didn't take this step now, if I wasn't thinking ahead, I would secure this all, I'd tile, and then I'd go to install my shower door and I wouldn't hit any wood. In that case, my tile would be holding up my heavy glass door, which would be a disaster. So make sure you're thinking ahead. You'll thank yourself. All right, that was a lot of time lapse, but you saw we got the entire shower, all the go board tile backer installed, caulked it, all the joints. After I installed that, I went around everywhere, so all of the joints and the screw holes, and made sure those all were filled with sealant. So obviously before we did all the go board, I had to get the shower valve all plumbed in. So that's obviously what it'll look like, right? We got the shower head up top. There is a wand with this configuration and then our valve. So while this caulk dries, I think it's like 30 minutes, but I'm just gonna give it a little bit of extra time before I come back with RedGuard. I am going to get going on the drywall. There's not a whole lot to do, just this wall, but it's gonna be nice to close this in. It's gonna start actually feeling like a bathroom. We're getting close, we're almost there. All right, it is now time to do our shower pan. So I'm going with a company called Built with Foam. I'll put a link down below in the description if you want to check them out. They're out of Houston, Texas, so they are made in the US. It is a veteran-owned company, which we always try and support. So again, it's foam. It's not your typical foam. It's super dense. So like if I push really hard, I can dent it, but you're gonna have no issues using it as a shower pan. So you simply go on their website, you give them the exact dimensions of your shower size, where you want the drain, and they'll laser cut it out for you. They have all the most common drain types. So I'm gonna go with the Flow FX square drain. So when I ordered this, I told them this is the drain I was using, and they cut out a CNC hole for my drain so it sits level with the shower pan. So it's very cool. Like I said, they're out of Texas. I ordered it and they shipped it the same day, which is crazy. So make sure you check them out. Again, I'll put a link down below in the description. We're gonna get this set in place with some thin set PVC cement, our drain in place, and then we'll get started on the waterproofing. So that's it. It took me about 18 minutes to wet the surface, burn in the thin set, trowel it, set the pan, and set the drain. You cannot beat that with any other product. So I'm gonna let this sit overnight. I can go right over this right now. I don't need to let it dry or anything to waterproof it, but it's getting late. I'm gonna let this set overnight. I'll come back tomorrow, set and start doing the waterproof membrane, hit the shower with RedGuard, then we're ready for tile. All right, it is now the next day. So I let that set up overnight. And then as you just seen, I put in the curb, wrapped it in Go board, and got that all sealed up. So we're ready to set our waterproof membrane over our shower pan to get everything waterproofed. I'm gonna be going with Prova Matte. I got this from my local Menards, but most big box stores have this or an equivalent product. I'll put a link down below. It's also available on Amazon if you'd like to use this on your bathroom. But I'm gonna get this set. It applies with thin set. So I'm gonna get this set into place. I also have some edge banding for our far edge and then up against our curb. And I also have inside corners for all the four corners. So let's get this shower waterproofed so we can tile. All right, it has been a few days since I installed this waterproofing. So now it is time to do a flood test. So I bought this drain plug from Home Depot. I'm gonna plug the drain, pour in about 20-ish gallons of water, mark the water level on a shim, come back way later, check it again, and just make sure we have no leaks. that is going to do it for this week's video. We got a ton done in this one. We got all of the framing done, the windows in, the shower is waterproof, the flood test was successful, and we got all of our drywall hung. So make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed that one, and make sure you are subscribed. We have a ton more coming. We got to finish the drywall, paint, do all the tiling, build the vanity, and much, much more. So, like I said, subscribe if you wish to see the rest. I will also put a playlist right over here that has all of the videos for the bathroom in one location. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it very, very much, and we'll see you next time.